in this game that we call life, when it comes down to pursuing things outside our comfort zone and moving forward to create a better life for ourselves, we will be in positions where we will get a lot more no's than yeses, right? I'm sure you've heard me mention this before. And with that in mind, I want you to take this message on board, and I want you to not be too attached to the outcome. If possible, don't be attached to the outcome at all. And the reason why I say that is because, we can do so much. We can put in a lot of time, we can put in a lot of effort into what we are working on, whether it comes down to client work, whether it comes down to building a business, whether it comes down to building your brand. All those things require a lot of effort, time, consistency, discipline, motivation, charisma. I could go on, right? The point that I'm making is that it relies on a lot of things in order for you to get the ball rolling and for it to continue to roll. And when you are attached to the outcome, yes, you are doing the thing to get the desired result. But when you are working for yourself, whether you are a solopreneur, running a business, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call yourself, it is quite interesting because the various different inputs that you decide to do towards what it is that you are trying to achieve, that output, it may take a while. It may take a while. It is a lot different than the idea of, working in corporate or working a 9 to 5 role. You are there to do your job in hours. You get paid based on your time, right? So you check in, your input is based on the work that you do, or based on you showing up more so. But it's based on you showing up for a certain amount of time, and then you are guaranteed by the end of said month, you will get this amount of money, right? Your wages. And then that is the process, that's the pattern. You do that sort of input based on your roles and responsibilities, and in return, you get the output, which is the money, right? But then when you are working for yourself or you're in business, you could be doing various different things. You could do various different things as far as input is concerned, and the output may not happen. The output may not happen, or the output may happen in a tremendous way, bigger than your wildest dreams. Or the output can align with something different that you may have not necessarily put on your bucket list, or you may have not necessarily added it to your priority list. However, that thing still has become a output based on the input that you have decided to do. And with that in mind, if you are in the process of building your own brand, a revenue generating brand, as I call it often, if you are too attached to the outcome, knowing that there are so many things that you need to do in the process of input, you are going to burn yourself out if you continue like this. You cannot be attached to the outcome, because you have to be attached to the process and the journey and the documentation. The same way I record and I upload one long form video every single day, and I plan to for 1,000 days, right? Since the start of the year, I've been uploading content every single day on YouTube. And as you know, my goal is to build a 7-figure brand within 1,000 days, right? So that is the goal. That is the goal that I'm working towards, right? That is the dream outcome, let's call it. But then, based on me working towards achieving this outcome, that means that there are a number of things that I need to be doing on a daily basis, right? Every single day, I need to be doing these particular things in order to get one step closer to said goal. And a lot of it will be a mixture of high leverage activity that needs to be done that can move the needle and generate revenue. Some of it is a lot more admin based in terms of managing and maintaining. A lot of it is profile building as well in terms of building my brand, you know, as well as me helping others build their brands. Is important for me to lead by example and document the process of how I do it myself as well. And then there's just so many spinning plates in the process. So when I talk about the various different inputs, right, the output, like I said, it may not happen or it may happen in a tremendous way. And then that's the beauty of the game. And when you are in the process of no longer attaching yourself to the outcome and rather attaching yourself to the daily non-negotiable habits that will lead to the outcome, that will put you in a far greater position because you are on the journey documenting and working towards the goal in real time. And through you doing that alongside all the various inputs, you will get so many different outputs that you wouldn't have even imagined, right? The way that you are working towards your goals and your ambitions, it will catch on. People will see all the things that you are working towards and all the things that you are doing in real time. And that's how you build community, right? You do the inputs on the basis that you don't know what the outputs will be, but you know that they will be far better than the aspects of you just doing one input and one output. There isn't any variety in there. There isn't any aspect of you being able to do better, right? You're in a position where I would argue that you are comfortable because you are guaranteed that this is the situation. And by no means am I saying that, you know, being in a position of working 9 to 5 is bad. Not at all. Not at all. If if I could turn back the hands of time, but that's a story for another day. But the point is, learn to figure out how you no longer attach yourself to the outcome and attach yourself to the process of doing. Because when you get to that stage and you start to get involved in the process that way, every single output that you are able to achieve based on your input will all be worth it. You start to really value and appreciate all the outputs that come from the actual work that you do. And especially when you position it as, you know, building from scratch, building from nothing, right? That opportunity for you to do so many various different things to move the needle, and the output is something that you didn't even fathom was even possible or feasible for you. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. And the fact that you don't know what the output is, some may argue it's a gamble, some may argue it's like playing the lottery. But for me, I feel that it is the journey that turns you into the key person of influence and the obvious choice, as I speak on often. But it is also the aspect of you becoming that person that you were always meant to be. And that is based on you being in the process of you having so many inputs to the point where you are just very knowledgeable about so many different things just because you had to go through the process of learning how to do it. Like last night, I was working through the email newsletter for the agency side, and then working through the process of the, what is it, the email platform or the hosting platform, matter of fact, and just making sure that I can get the alias email to align with everything and update in the back end of the hosting platform in order for it to be authenticated. Like that stuff in itself may seem a bit like, okay, so what? But there's going to be people out there that don't know how to do it, or they get put in a position where they get stuck and they decide that it's not for them. And then that's it. That's it. The inputs that you have to learn only makes you more well-rounded and better as an individual and a better version of yourself in order for you to become that person who is then in the prime position to achieve said outcome. So that's why I say don't be attached to the outcome, because if you're just attached to the outcome and what you are looking to achieve at the end, and you're not really reverse engineering the process and understanding what you need to do every single day to get better and to improve and become the actual person that can achieve said thing, then it's going to be a harder journey for you in the long run, because you're very caught up on the idea of wanting this particular dream outcome now, when we know things take time. We know it's about delayed gratification and really focusing and being intentional every single day to get towards our goals. And yes, even if it doesn't go to plan, you make a new plan, you pivot, you try new things, you experiment, you document, you learn about all the things about yourself so you can always end up improving to continue to fight another day, because you have got to the process where you understand that another blessed day that we have is just another day where you're smarter, stronger, wiser, capable, resilient, all those things that you are building through that. But then you only really get to that point when you are more well versed in delivering various different inputs without even thinking, oh, I want this guaranteed output. The aspect of working a 9-to-5 role has made us think that that is our only way that we can grow and develop and make a living. And there's far too many different examples out there to showcase that it is possible. The difference between you and those other people who have arguably quote unquote made it or are successful is that they focused on delivering on their inputs without a second guess about the output of what the output looks like. But then when that output has arrived and it's arrived in a big way, it doesn't make a difference to them because they're focused on the actual day-to-day activity. The outcomes and the outputs you get as a result of the input is great, right? But it's not the thing that makes us do it, and it's not the thing that makes us stop doing it. It is the daily inputs towards it that makes the biggest difference. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share today. I just thought I was quite reflective today. If you see quite a few videos of me being quite reflective, you know, we're in the second half of the year. It's a lot of stuff that I'm working towards and a lot of stuff I need to get right in the coming months. So right now, I'm just very blessed to be in the privilege of sharing my insights as well. And yeah, if you are locked in and you're still watching, thank you very much. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace out. Look after yourself.